As a man thinketh in his heart, so is he. Fellow Toastmasters, honored Toastmasters, Mr. Toastmaster, fellow Toastmasters, honored guests. How many times have we heard that phrase before? 50 times, 100 times, perhaps 1,000 times. Well, I've heard it just as many times before. But one thing that stand out more than anything is there was never any emphasis on that whole concept, as a man thinketh. I was taught to memorize the phrase, but never taught what it meant completely. So what I did, like most people did, I went on a journey. I went on a journey to try to find out truth as I could understand it. And I found a lot of my journey, a lot of my information, a lot of my truth in the books that I read. And it's one book in particular that stands out, one of the most important books that I ever read, out of many, is As a Man Thinketh by James Allen. Now I read that well over 10 years ago, and I read it a second time also. But in this particular book, it seemed when I started to read it, the words just jumped off the page. I mean, it has so much meaning to it. Now I don't chose to attack my upbringing and say that I wasn't taught. Maybe I was just not prepared for the message at that time. So maybe they were teaching, maybe they were telling me that if you think positive, you get positive. You think negative, you get negative. I just think there wasn't a whole lot of emphasis. So when I read this particular book, it stood out and it really grabbed me and it made me really think. It made me think so much to the point where I put it to memory. I actually wrote down 2 paragraphs that just stood out to me, and I can speak it verbatim. And so what I chose to do is write it down, memorize it, and I would like to share it with you guys this evening. The first paragraph goes as such: mind is the master power that molds and makes, and man is mind. And evermore he takes the tool of thought, and shaping what he wills, he can bring forth 1,000 joys or 1,000 ills. But he thinks in secret, and it comes to pass that his environment is but his looking glass. In the second paragraph is tempest-tossed souls. Wherever you may be, under whatsoever conditions you may live, know this: in the ocean of life, the isles of blessedness are smiling, and the sunny shore of your ideal awaits your coming. Keep your hands firmly on the helm of thought, and the bark of your soul reclines the commanding master. He does but sleep. Wake him up. Self-control is strength. Thought is mastery, but calmness is power. Say it to your heart: peace, be still. Now, when I read those words, as I said it, the words just jumped off the page and it has so much meaning. But let's dissect those paragraphs a little bit. Mind is the master power that molds and makes. That means our mind is the master power. That's what's in control. Whether or not we have a great life or horrible life, a lot of our downfalls come from the concept of how we think. And that's something that wasn't emphasized in that one phrase, as a man thinketh. Man is mind. Each one of us have a mind. Each one of us has a choice. We can actually take our thoughts and mold our life into whatever we want based on how we think and what we're focused on. Forevermore he takes the tool of thought, shaping what he wills, bring forth 1,000 joys or 1,000 ills. Like all of us in this room here, I brought forth a lot of joy, maybe 1,000, and probably maybe 10 times worse ills or bad situations based on my stinking thinking. So what I've learned to do is to write down and focus on the good thoughts and try to mold my future by how I'm thinking. And I got most of this from not only that book, there's been other books, but I got that mostly from that one book, As a Man Thinketh by James Allen. The second paragraph says, tempest-tossed souls, wherever you may be, under whatsoever condition you may live. In other words, there's no excuse and the bark of your soul inclines to commanding master. So that means there's somebody there, and subconscious, I guess that's what the technical name for it. There's somebody there that's controlling everything. What James Allen is saying is you go up and you wake that person up. Wake them up, and you wake them up, and you tell them what to think, him or her, what to think, and you tell them how to think. But make sure when you wake them up and tell them what to think, you tell them something that's all good. Mr. Toastmaster.